Welcome back to another episode of the Within Range podcast. Don Juan, Jared Suter, and yes, the Ear God is finally back with us.
He's back. Not just in spirit, man. Here.
8 episodes, he said it's been.
Eight episodes, yeah. I sent the fax machine and said, I'm back.
Hit with that ESPN 8 Ocho, dude.
Man, boys, dope guests we have on today. Artist, entertainer, entrepreneur, business owner, more. He's even been in rap battle competitions. Definitely want to get into that. Been putting on for AZ and Phoenix in general for a while now. Excited to learn more about his story and journey. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Tyler Gill today.
Thank you
for coming on, man.
We had the claps in. You guys were just talking about it. Live clap. Okay.
Nice.
Live clap.
Shouts
Usually we have to
to
edit
the
it.
Ear God.
Studio audience over there.
Yeah, came in
Y'all see
correct.
that? I got the sound effects.
That's right.
Yeah.
You don't get that a lot sometimes.
Drew just starts going crazy and like the obnoxious old boing.
Appreciate y'all for having me, though, man.
Thank you for coming on, man.
Appreciate you coming on, man. Yeah, we've been, keeping up. We've seen you in the scene. Like we were just talking, like we've been doing this 3 years, 4 seasons, and come across and met a lot of Arizona people and artists. And we're happy to have you on, man.
Happy to be here, brother.
So Tyler, if you've watched us or know about us, we like to usually start by taking it back a bit, talk about, kind of your upbringing and then how you got to where you're at. If I have this correct, so you're from Arizona.
Yeah.
East Side.
Yeah,
you
East
claim.
Side, baby, yeah.
So Mesa, are we talking, or where specifically?
Well, technically born in Mesa, but I would say most of my life was a extension and like Guadalupe.
Okay.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
And, not
I was
hood, but
Guadalupe
ghetto.
and rural
Yeah, I
for
was
a
gonna say
while.
you were down that way.
Yeah.
Definitely a little ran down now compared to what it was. It was actually not that bad when I grew up, but then like as I started to get a little bit older and got like we got out of that neighborhood, bro, like Fiesta Mall used to be a thing. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
Metro Center, RIP. Fiesta, RIP.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you go over there. It's just kind of, I don't know, kind of wild.
Desolate a little bit. Our last episode with Nove the Zoner, we had, we always ask and talk about where people are from. Nove, if I'm correct, was probably one of the first East Side artists we've had on, because we've had a lot of South Phoenix artists.
West Side.
Preem was from Glendale, so West Side, but not a
West
whole lot
or
of
South.
East Siders.
Right.
So, Ty, one of the things we like to ask, in response to that question is, for those who aren't familiar with Phoenix or Arizona in general, if you had to describe the Mesa, like Guadalupe area, and I guess growing up in that area, how would you put that?
I mean, Arizona's in general is just one of those things that, like, I feel like it is the wild, wild west. Like, you just never know what you're going to get. I feel like as long as you keep your head on a swivel, there's a lot of, like, fun stuff going on out here. I feel like I grew up in a cool part of town. Like, there was Sunsplash was a big thing. That was pretty close.
It's still running, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that was definitely, like, dope as a kid to have that right there. Brunswick, the bowling alley on Country Club across from... I think it's Bolero now.
Yeah. I think they're all white Boleros. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think about back on that. I mean, it was dope, bro. I mean, I had a lot of fun. Played a lot of sports growing up.
Did you ever go to that Tempe Discount Cinemas? It was on
Pollock Cinemas.
Yes, Pollock Cinemas.
Dollar
dude.
Theater.
Yeah. Dude. It had like an animatronic, like kind of like a discount Chuck E. Cheese band
I
in it
love
and
that
stuff.
shit. That shit was hilarious.
Oh, it was the best.
It was also like kind of like a horror movie, like because like you're just going in here like this place is
The
kind of gives me
camera-
carnival vibes.
It was
but-
mostly on the thing.
Yeah.
It was mostly level, and then they would play movies that were like either like just about to be out of theaters or had just left theaters.
Or
And
random ass ones. Like I remember one time they just threw Be Kind Rewind on there,
shit.
and I was
That's
just
Most Def.
That's dope.
yeah.
That's
That's
hilarious.
a throwback, bro. Hell yeah.
It was almost like
that
an
place is
independent cinema
Yeah,
movie theater
yeah.
almost.
And then
yeah.
It's cool.
There's
Good
one on
vibes.
Mill, but that one's probably, I feel like that one's a little more hoity-toity.
Yeah.
This one's like bring the family for.
Yeah, this is like
Getting their $20.
this is ghetto, like I said.
It was definitely it was
That's dope.
fun. Good cheap fun.
Yeah, cheap fun, exactly.
Well, bro, listen. I mean, you've come a long way. What it sounds like, kind of with your background, man. But honest hustler. I mean,
Yeah.
that was one of the things you've done. But bro, like doing our research and we found out you've gotten involved in quite a bit. And then I also read that you I think if I'm quoting this right, did you leave a job where you said you were making 6 figures to basically pursue like self-fulfillment and happiness? Can you talk to me about that? Because I found that I was like, what moment in your life was going on there?
So I was actually working at GoDaddy, bro. And I was making
Great company, bro.
really
Wow.
good money.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good job. Like, it was the first time I felt like Anybody who worked at GoDaddy, I feel like they didn't go to college probably looks at that as like their college experience. Like I learned so much about like
I feel like Yelp and Scottsdale's that a little
exactly.
bit now.
A lot of
Yeah.
people left GoDaddy and went to Yelp after GoDaddy went
interesting.
public, so
Yeah.
it would make sense. But bro, I just learned a lot about the internet there. I learned a lot about money there, small business, you know, and they just like I was going through. There's like the third or fourth time I'd been in a company and they went through major commission changes. And I'm a salesperson. Like no matter what, if I have
Sales
a
guy.
business or not, I'm a big sales guy. That's all I do.
Damn, so you were grinding when you were hitting
Grinding,
that 6.
yeah, grinding. But you know, I just got sick of like people having control over when I had to be back for lunch or take calls or. So that kind of just steered me in a direction of like, all right, like what matters to me and what doesn't. And I just feel like I got to see a lot. Like God's been good to me as far as showing me like a lot of things that I've been able to see, you know. And I just kind of saw like, all right, you can do a lot if you decide to take a step outside of corporate confinement. And I didn't even know what I was gonna do, bro. I remember I gave my 2 weeks and I didn't even have the print stuff lined up yet.
Really?
No, I just had some money put aside and I just like had this feeling it was time to move on.
Okay.
And I knew like if I had to apply for another job, I would, but it was just like the GoDaddy thing was over for me at that point. So I actually met somebody, shout out Gabe, if you've heard of Hampton's Clothing. I actually, he's out here. I met him and he actually introduced me to the print industry and there's a whole spiral of how things got to where they are now, but that's how it started.
Wow.
Is that when you were doing stuff with Honey Badger?
So I did stuff with Tyrann. That's how I met him was through the merch stuff, and then we're like great friends now. He's one of my best friends. I met him back when he was on the Cardinals. And
I was gonna say, was that when he was playing
yeah,
here?
all merchandise. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
He was balling back then too.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
I mean, he's had a fun career.
He has, dude. I feel like he moved on. I forget where he went after that, and then I was like, all right,
Houston.
well, yeah, okay. I
New
was like,
Orleans.
He went from Arizona to Houston for a year. Played very well on a prove it contract. He was going to go back to Houston, and then the Chiefs came in and offered him.
that's what it was.
Went there for 3 years, won a Super Bowl, and then the Chiefs decided to go in a different direction, and he's now on the Saints, and he just signed a 2-year extension with them.
Dude, and I think he's had like he's had both ACL replaced, I
Yeah,
think, too. And
for sure.
still just, that's crazy.
Have you ever asked him about when he was going back and forth with Tom
With
Brady?
Brady?
Yeah, we've talked. I was in Florida when that happened.
Okay.
Oh, no
Tyrann, or Tom actually sent him a DM like directly after the Super Bowl.
What did it say?
He basically was just telling him like that he really respected him as a player and that like he didn't want
fucking
like
hate
it to
that
get out of context and that like you know just to
It was competition.
yeah
I
it was
mean,
like it was a mesh. I you know there were some things that were said that you know
sure, maybe can't be said here.
He-
this time. I
Tom's
get
a
it, I get
warrior,
it.
and so is Honey
Well,
Badger,
and in
dude.
that moment, again, if you're a sports guy and you understand sports and the level of competition, it's the biggest game ever. Yeah, that stuff's gonna happen. But for a guy like Tom Brady, who is pretty poised, and for him to, I mean, Tyrann got that out of him.
I
man.
would,
It
I
was
would,
like-
I would never do it or send it to anybody or anything. But like, I literally like, I was in a group chat and got the DM like sent to me in a screenshot.
Oh,
so I
that's
read it.
awesome,
So like, I
dude.
know
That's
exactly.
so sick.
Listen, if you want to show us off camera, dude,
Nah, I don't even honestly. That was so
Second.
many years ago. I don't even think I wouldn't even know where to look for that.
What a guy, though, Tom. What a Tom Brady move, too.
Yeah.
Just like,
For
hey,
sure,
man,
just
listen,
such
I
a
just want to,
gentleman.
just like, you can't hate him.
But I
dude.
mean, at the end of the day, too, it's also like a testament to Tyrann because like Tom Brady took time out of his day to go address you after a Super Bowl.
he's not doing that with any.
100%.
just
Yeah,
like-
within 24 hours, like within an hour or two of the game ending, he just won a Lombardi
Wow.
and he sends that
It's
DM.
in his
So, I mean,
head.
it's
Yeah,
like, you know,
dang.
I mean, it says a little bit about his character too.
And then he got absolutely smacked on that boat
Yeah, that's
parade.
that's a
That was
great
legendary,
video.
dude.
That's a great video. It is a great video.
Are you and Tyrann still close?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch them play. The Saints played the. Who'd they play when I was just there? I can't even remember. I did go watch them play though. The Raiders.
Oh, okay.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, I was in the suite at the Saints game. That was dope. New Orleans.
Are you still with Above the Top Entertainment?
No, so we closed that label. There was like a label that Tyrann wanted to open, and I actually just jumped into that as just a business person.
Okay.
It was during the pandemic. My print situation got sketchy. I actually was working a delivery job for like delivering medical marijuana. I had a buddy who owned a dispensary, and like during the pandemic, it was paying fat, bro. Like I was making
Yeah.
retarded money because nobody wanted to go anywhere. They were scared. Everybody wants dope.
Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
Right. But literally one day Tyrann called me and he was like, yo, bro, like I want to open this label and all this stuff. And like we've had a lot of conversations about stuff. And sometimes, bro, just like any of your boys, bro, you have conversations and you're like, like maybe we'll do that later. That was just like a moment where we just, we're thinking
Sounds like a
spitballing.
good idea.
But he was dead serious. He's like, bro, like I really want to do this. Like, how much money do you make right now? Like, I want you to quit your job. And I was like, fuck, okay. So we had he literally flew me out to Kansas City. We were at his house and just had the conversation about all the logistics, broke it down, came back and started the label. And then the label was probably existent for 4, 5, 6 months, something like that. And then I actually, bro, it was hard because like I didn't even start rapping until the end of it. At the beginning of it, I was only business side. I was facilitating a lot of shit. There's just like house shit, paying bills, trying to help like, the people that were in it. And it was a full-time job, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But ultimately it turned into being more of an expense than I thought was worth. And I didn't really want my relationship to be attached to a terrible financial plunder that could have kept going.
Right.
So I was like, yo, bro, I think it might be best if like we don't do this, like just to keep it,
No hard feelings. You're just not.
And it wasn't.
You're putting into it. You're not getting.
Well, I'm
out.
not saying or like, I just it was a suggestion. I was like, if you want to, we can. It's your bread. But there was also a lot going on, so that was the decision that was made, and everybody kind of dispersed. But bro, he's the reason I rap now, because literally, we were at his house and I had something playing on my phone, and he was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "That's me." And he was like, "You?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Why aren't you dropping shit?" And like me at that time, bro, because I used to manage Sincerely Collins.
You did.
Yeah.
You done a lot of work with him. I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, so I
later.
used to manage him like after his bootleg era for a little bit, or just handle like bookings and shit like that. I feel like saying you manage someone's a weird word. But it was I lost the train of thought. I don't remember what I was talking about.
No, so you were managing him, and then.
So I always felt weird about putting music out, because I made music my whole life. Like I've always been somebody who's been in the studio. In high school, that's what everybody knows me for, is rapping.
Mountain Point.
Yeah, but I didn't want to like step on toes, bro. Like you don't want, like there's a lot of people you hear about that, like no diddy a situation.
Right. Yeah. We've
But
heard stories.
Especially like when you come in from the other side of the business, it's like,
and
oh,
I
wait,
didn't like, and I felt really weird too, like with because there was like they were like younger than me. They're like almost 10 years younger than me.
Oh wow.
That I was managing, or the kids. Like I'm 32, bro. They were in their 20s. So like I didn't want to like step on like the kids' shit.
Absolutely.
So that was like hard for me. But he was like, nah, bro. Like if you're putting the work in, it's solid. Like it's good. Like nah, we're gonna run with it.
Yeah.
And he really put a battery back in my pack, where like pack in my back, where I just like, it bought me into myself.
Yeah.
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
That's
So-
awesome, bro.
say you put up I'm surprised it was just that long, because you put out a lot of stuff on there, dude. I was checking that out. There's a lot on
Yeah,
there.
once I kind of got the green light, bro, I was just like super excited, and like I just found a love for it again, and just was like, oh my God. Like, and at the time I was still getting paid to run the label. So it was like I was getting paid to rap, bro. It was just a fire
nice.
little situation for me
Yeah.
for a month or two.
That's awesome.
But I think that's such a relationship saving move, though, to come to that and be like, hey, I don't want this to.
Well,
like,
bro, it was just a lot of pressure
what I
having to
think.
be in the hot seat with like, bro, he plays football. So you got to deal with his people, not him.
Right.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, it's a lot, bro. Like people don't realize, like, when you start to deal with like real money and just business in general, like I think a lot of people just think shit just works, or it's just like, nah,
your
bro.
daily life, you have
There's
a
a lot
team.
of processes that goes with like bookkeeping or receipts, or like how you have to expend things, or where's money going. I don't know. Like now you got to go back and you got to paper trail shit. And it's just like one of those things where it's like I felt like I was doing more of that shit than I was using my mind to be like an A&R for music, or like a Scooter Braun of a situation, to be able to help get to that next level.
And that's where you really wanted to be.
That's like how it started. I've always had my passion for music, bro, and I've always had a early vendetta of like, how do I get back over into the driver's seat?
Sure.
And God just kind of took the wheel on that one and pushed me back over. So
That was
Nice.
gonna be one of my questions. Is like, usually you have like a moment in time or a phase when like music really took a hold of you. Do you how young or what point in your life did
Yeah,
that happen?
bro. I mean, shit, I think right away, bro. Like I can literally remember the Dr. Dre documentary that was on MTV that just was about him producing. And I tried, so when I saw that first and I saw like he produced other people, I tried to write a rap for one of my boys. And I gave it to him and like was like, bro, you should try this. And like I was like showing him how to do it and stuff. And eventually like he was trying to record it and it sounded terrible. And he was like, why don't you try that shit? Like all pissed off at me. And I was like kind of thinking in my head, like he's probably got a point.
It's your own shit anyway.
So then I
Like,
did it,
literally.
and then it worked. And what's crazy is how I recorded it, bro. So y'all remember like LimeWire and BearShare?
Oh yeah.
Do we
oh,
ever?
Yeah.
So
and
so I burned
and
grew up on
Frostwire.
that.
so I
yeah.
burned the CD, bro, and put it in the top of the CD player. You put the like a blank tape in the bottom, like a cassette tape, and you can record on the cassette tape, and it'll record what's playing on the CD.
Oh wow.
So I
okay,
would
that
play
was-
the instrumental on the CD, but you could also plug a mic into this bitch, and it was just
And
one of them
record
little
through.
stereos. And I'm literally, it's a one take,
then I
so
was-
it's just whatever I
take.
can
Yeah,
get
you
in the
gotta
one
get
take
it
on the fucking
You know it's
cassette.
hard out
Yeah,
here
so
for
it's,
people.
exactly, bro. Yeah, when I saw that shit, I was like, I did that shit, you know.
He's like, no, I'm trying to hear you. I'm trying to feel it.
Yeah.
DJ Qualls over there.
But no, I think from that moment forward, bro, like I fell in love with it and it became therapy for me, bro. I went through a lot of shit in high school with my home life. We all have stories that we went through, bro. Nobody's, that significant or special in that matter. But it was my outlet, bro. And I've always felt that way. And like to find it again in a deep way 10 years later is such a blessing.
All right, so Tyler, it's interesting because following you and kind of keeping up with you, you're in a time, I think, in your life right now where you're actually moving to California.
Yup.
Most people are doing the opposite right now, where they're leaving Cali and coming here. Talk to us about like this move and like what this is gonna do for you and your career and what you got going on.
Bro, I'm a Phoenix baby. I'll always be a Phoenix baby. I'll take Arizona with me everywhere I go. Everybody's gonna know that's where I'm from. I stand on it. I love it. I think it's one of the best cities in the United States for many
Facts.
reasons. It's one of the most underrated, if not the most underrated city. And I feel like we've started to get that light here the last couple years that we have always deserved, If you go other places, bro, like when I would go to Kansas City a lot to visit Tyrann, you know what I mean? Like they literally only have the Chiefs, bro. Like that's
Right.
what they like,
That's
and,
the
and I
makeup
don't
of
mean
the
no
city.
disrespect
Yeah,
to
yeah,
nobody
yeah,
from
of course.
Kansas City,
They got the Royals.
but I'm
okay,
just
listen,
saying
dude.
like those people live for that shit.
Yes.
Here, bro, like the Cardinals, D-backs, and Suns almost don't get that much because there's so much you could do. Like at the end of the day, like there's
a
pro
lot of
sports, but I
golf,
could also
a lot of
hike, I could
bars.
golf, I
Yes.
could. There's and you think about too like the richest people in the world being Paradise Valley.
Yeah.
You got Sedona, you
Dude,
got
I've seen
Payson.
so many people recently. It's like, and it's like cool because you don't even necessarily know that how many wealthy people live here. Like you drive through Paradise Valley, there's crazy money there, and there's like some
Absolutely.
celebrities, but they're scattered all over the
Absolutely.
valley, dude. Like Brian Erla. Have you seen Brophy's
Yeah.
lineup
Yeah,
this year for
yeah.
football?
Yeah, it's all
It was like
ex-athletes,
Donovan
children.
McNabb's kid. I think it was
Larry
Brian Erlacher's,
Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald's kid. Like 2 or 3 other guys
Yeah.
that played crazy.
I coached high school football for a couple years too.
Oh,
La Jolla?
nice. Okay.
Yeah,
all
La
right.
Jolla, yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But to answer your question, so I don't get too off track.
Sorry.
No, that's my fault. San Diego. So I've been in Arizona, bro, and I love it. I just think for me, there's also something to be said about being comfortable, and you don't grow when you're comfortable. And I just felt like I was very comfortable here, bro. And I wanted to do something that kind of puts a need to prove to myself again who I am. I like doing things like that. Like that's what I did with the rap battle, right? Like just prove to yourself who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's a reason I want to go out there. But like at the same time, bro, when everybody asks me why are you sure, I'd be like, come on, bro, would you not live 15 minutes from the beach if you
I was
could?
gonna say, you said San Diego.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I told him as he was walking up, I said, if there's one place in California I would choose, I said,
It's
that's it.
exclusively.
And it's
it,
most
dude.
people who
It's
are
the
from
best.
Arizona, like it's their dream as a kid, like
I
is to
love
go
that.
out there.
I love that you're gonna go Arizona, they're California.
Right. Yeah, little they
beautiful.
they call
Usually
us
it's the opposite.
they
Don't
call us
California.
zonies out there, bro.
I love
We're
that,
zonies.
dude.
But
Nice.
That's awesome.
I think San Diego too, bro, is gonna help me like zero in on music. I think that there's some things here that just by default of situation, who I am, where I come from, what I have, there's like, the things, they don't matter, but like there's a lot of like nitpicky, drama filled, sassy media out here that just and not even just
Sassy.
media, but like I would say what people would think are gatekeepers. I don't think gatekeepers exist when you got God on your side, but
Ooh.
For all that being said, bro, I was like, I just want to get fresh air.
Love that.
It's a lot of that out there. Yeah, literally
Yeah.
one of the best places. You go to Mission Beach, Miss B's Coconut Club
Yeah.
for
Oh,
brunch.
I've
Gas
been
the
there.
beach for a
District?
little bit.
You ever been?
Gaslamp
I'm pretty much living in Gaslamp
Are you?
District,
That's a
yeah.
nice
Oh, you're
area,
living in
man.
Gas-
So
Gaslamp? Oh,
yeah,
that's
so
nice.
Game
Pacific Beach, you had Konos.
Kono.
I don't think I
Konos is a
have.
breakfast spot. You're
I've
gonna
had
go there
Konos.
and the line's gonna be out the door every single time.
Really?
Worth
But
it.
you get it quick, you move fast, and it's
In
ridiculous.
Pacific-
It's right on
not by the
Pacific Beach by the pier.
Oh, okay, yeah. No,
It's
honestly,
fire.
I only know I'm Pizza Port over there. Like,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's,
yeah.
That's my thing. I'm still.
I literally just stayed on the beach
that as
right by
well.
Luigi's Pizza for like 2 weeks. I was
That's
just loving
beautiful.
life, just working from home, just
It's
loving it.
it's nice, dude. Yeah, it is. It's nice out there.
Yeah, so that's why I'm going, bro, just to
Good for you, man.
change it up.
Yeah. And listen, not to speak on this subject because we don't promote negativity on this platform. That's
Yeah,
not
I
what we do
don't.
here.
I don't either. I'm a positive person.
You are, I can tell, and I feel like I get what you're saying, right? Like we've been in this scene kind of long enough now to know who the who's who, like we talked about, and who's doing what, and I just feel like guys like you who are genuine or come from a good place, like having God on your side, like you talked about, you're gonna find your outlet, and this move to San Diego for you might be really what you need,
Right, and it might kick me into something that I would have never got if I just
Exactly.
stayed home. So
Exactly, it's awesome.
Love it.
So before you move on, I wanted to kind of capture an observation. You seem like a person that really learns how to maximize a moment, and then you kind of learn a gut instinct of like when to move on. Do you feel like a
Yeah.
lot of that has to do with your faith?
yeah, bro. I think at the end of the day, man, everybody knows what they feel in their gut. Everybody does, bro.
Yeah.
It's just who's got the moxie to act on it. And I think when it comes to me acting on how I feel in my gut, I'm never worried because don't get me wrong, I've made decisions I've regretted. I'm not saying that. But I always live with whatever decision I make. And I know that when I make those decisions, no matter what, God's going to be good with me and take me with care and understand that I'm not perfect. And I understand that too. So feeling the temperature out's always a thing, but just not being scared for shit to go wrong. I think that's why, like, that's the other thing, like me going to San Diego. Like, people be scared of shit happening that hasn't happened yet. And I think that projects a lot of negativity and a lot of bad things into your life that weren't going to happen if you didn't move that way or didn't attract those things in your life. So it's important to act on how your gut feels at all times. Because I'll tell you, whether it's in a relationship, where it's romance, if it's money, 9.5 times out of 10, your gut's right.
Yeah.
Hitting on 16.
It's no brainer.
I was with my boy playing blackjack the other day, bro, and he hit on a 14 with a 6 showing. I was
No,
like,
no,
brother,
get him off the table,
brother,
dude. He's
ugh,
fired.
What
dude.
is that?
You're fired immediately.
and then what's funny as hell is he hit and he got a 6, so he had a 20.
Oh, he had a 20.
And then it
Don't
was
tell
a-
me the dealer busted.
Nah,
you.
the lady next to him had an 11, and she doubled down he took her card to get 21. I just remember that.
Stop it.
Yeah, she got up and left off the table, and I said, "Dog,
Yeah,
we
dude.
might have to go." And he's like, "Man, I'm
She
like,
might have
"Nah,
been waiting
fuck."
for him outside the
Bro, I had him
casino,
all
dude.
riled up. I felt bad. I'm like, fuck, because everybody was stressing out at the table.
Yeah,
you know
no
what I
shit.
mean?
Oh,
Listen,
yeah,
a 14 dealer showed a 6. That is.
yeah, that was wild.
The worst is
absurdity.
the guy who's 21 and 2.5 hours old and
Oh, yeah.
sits down and is just like, I haven't gambled much. It's like, yeah, no fucking shit.
Yeah, like maybe you should go play
You
somewhere else.
just said it's your
Blackjack.
Start
at
it
my
virtual.
table.
Yes.
Start it virtual.
Yeah, well, I'm
Right?
saying
Get the
like
app on
not
your
at my
phone.
table, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like-
not
You're
at
gonna
my
fuck
table.
my vibe up for the whole night. like I
Exactly.
came in here with 200. I'm trying to turn it into some racks tonight.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
and if we get off on a bad foot, you're gonna make me lose 150 in 20 minutes, and I'm gonna think it's your fault.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be like, you know what, brother? I've seen you play blackjack. Are you familiar with the colors black and red? Because god dang, do I have the game for you?
Yeah.
There's a little ball and
Yeah,
it
it
just
just
spins
spins
around.
around.
Yeah, go play
You just
roulette,
pick one of
brother.
those. Sick, dude.
Right. Exactly.
All right. One thing I want to ask before I get into the music. We get into the music. Are you still in the process of writing a book?
Yes, bro. I actually have 2 books, 2 like concepts that I'm writing. I have one book that's more of a self-help, like motivational, like just with yourself. It's it's gonna be. You said what?
You got a title? I feel like it almost came out there.
Out of the rabbit hole.
Out of the rabbit hole. Okay, I like it.
And I think that, like, just to give you context a little bit on it, no matter what, when things go a little bit south in your life, you can find yourself in the rabbit hole. And I think that when you're in the rabbit hole, it's so easy to start looking at all the other things in your life that are worse or bad. You know, like you maybe have one thing go wrong and then you start looking at things like trauma that happened
Yeah.
and you start
Yeah.
blaming yourself for it. And all of a sudden you're in this anchored position and you can't get out of the rabbit
Yeah.
hole. So it's just kind of about like being aware of yourself, getting out, practices, things you should be aware of, stuff like that. And then I have another one that's just complete nonfiction. I'm sorry, no, complete fiction.
Oh, complete
sorry.
fiction. I see,
Yeah,
I'm a
complete-
nonfiction
no,
guy, bro.
Complete,
I'll read all
complete.
that.
I'm sorry, complete fiction. And I honestly never thought about doing that because I don't read a ton of fiction books. I read more self-help books. But my thought process behind it was like, I really want to do short films and I really want to do film. Like, really, really want to do it.
Okay.
But you got to have a budget. There's no budget needed to be an author. So I told myself, all right, if you could write something with your imagination, then you can really go. In the book I'm writing,
interesting.
I don't know if I'm going to go with it because I kind of started doodling. It's like music. Sometimes you get songs done, you don't know if you're going to keep it. But that one's called From the Middle of the Ocean. And it's literally, the book starts with a dude waking up on a boat in the middle of the ocean, and he doesn't know how he got there. He wasn't knocked out. Nothing's wrong with him. And he's just trying to figure out what's going on, and he literally takes the boat in.
That's something, dude. That's something. I mean, like, I can see the Academy just
Yeah.
creaming
Really?
for that.
Okay.
Dude.
Bro, I'm telling you, like,
From the
I've
middle of
sent,
the ocean, you can see it right now, dude. I can
Yeah,
see
it's
it
like
right
some
up there.
Netflix
Jared's
shit.
fired up.
That's what I'm saying. I just
Hell
need
yeah.
to, that's what I'm saying.
He's
I
just
got
Drew's
there.
feeling it too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
so-
No, there's a really cool factor about telling stories. That's essentially what us creators are. We tell stories. Whether if it's visual, it's audible, it's directing a film, writing a screenplay, even making a music video. There's somewhat of a story that's in there. And I think
Absolutely.
one of the coolest things that I feel like we don't get that as much now because everything's based on commerce, so it's based on relatability. Nobody's willing to just create characters that go through these crazy amounts of traumatic experiences, huge wins,
Oh, yeah.
really deep losses and things like that, and give you things to feel. Like, I like kind of where you're going, because there was a short film that I had seen that it was like a woman that fell down like a hole and there was nothing but water in a cave, and the whole entire thing really just was an explanation of anxiety. But
Right.
it was
And I already have like a very deeper meaning that's actually like really fucking fire for this book, that like From the Middle of the Ocean. So I know, have you ever seen Shutter Island?
Yes.
So
Scorsese.
it'll be similar to that, where at the end of it, you're gonna be having to ask yourself, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Not
was it
like,
a dream or was
yeah,
it
like was it reality?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of where this is gonna be too. Is there's gonna be things that go through it that are revealing. But then you're going to get to the end of it, and it's going to be one of those things at the end where it's like, okay. And I don't know how I'm going to tie it all together yet.
Yeah.
This is just kind of how I started. And where I'm
Spitballing
at.
here,
Yeah.
bro.
So
Yeah.
Shutter Island, be like,
Yeah.
every time the guy smokes a doob in the movie, someone else is doing it for
Yeah,
him. And
exactly,
that's your
bro.
cue
Yeah,
that he was the
exactly.
patient. You ever seen that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no, I
It's
think
DiCaprio, dude.
like, bro, I have a little bit of shiny object syndrome. Like where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I can do this. Like at the end of the day, the thing that's crazy, bro, is I really I am good at a lot of things, but I had to decide like this year I want to be great. So I've had to take some steps back from things and focus on less things
Sure.
to not be a jack of all trades and be a master of a few instead of a jack of all trades and a master of none.
So I love that you say that, and obviously we're not calling anybody out, but again, doing this 3 years, 4 seasons, we have met and encountered people who, since we've interacted with them the first time, have seen them try to do a number of things. When we first talked to them, their focus was, let's just say, on music, or it was on this one specific thing. And then that maybe didn't pan out, so they were like, I'm going to try all of these. And then we're sitting here watching from our perspective, we're like, maybe it's time to just analyze really what you want.
And
then
go for that.
Thank you.
and then go
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
Facts, bro. And that's a big part of me going to Cali, bro, is like I learned with my print business, bro, that no matter what it is in your life, if you want to do it and you want to be successful, you're going to. And it will happen. Because like I said it in a song, I said, like, God delivers when your intent is in the right spot. It might work, it might not. Like, at the end of the day, what you're doing, it may work or it may not. God's got it figured out. But if you really put your intent into something and it's honest and genuine, everything that you desire and believe you can get from it will come. But if you don't believe that, you can't get it to come into your life.
Yep.
So that's how, like, that manifestation brought me athletes. That manifestation brought me connections that I would have never had if it wasn't through that. So
You're sitting here right now today, right?
facts. And that's all things that come through the vessel of belief, bro. And I think that's an important thing, is a lot of people, they say things, but they maybe don't believe themselves, And I think for me, the music thing, like, to circle back on that full circle, like, I'm going out there so I can get rid of some of the distractions I have in Arizona and literally focus on making money and making music. And that's it.
It's awesome.
So my print business, bro, is pretty much autopilot. I don't have to do anything at this point.
Yeah.
I have to. I mean, I do from the computer. I'm not gonna say nothing, but I'm not picking shirts up. I'm not making them. Like my people do that. So
It's amazing.
at that point, it's just kind of like, all right, like, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like you've a bunch of things you've said. I keep getting reminded. If you've seen like the Man in the Arena stuff when Tom Brady and he tells that
Oh, it's a
maybe
great
story,
one. Yeah.
I feel like you've got the maybe story vibes where it's just like, oh, that's you're moving to California. That's crazy. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, you're gonna go do this and stop doing that. Like, maybe.
Yeah,
Like, and
maybe.
then, oh, that worked out. That's incredible. Like,
Right.
you're gonna do that.
Like there's
now,
like
right?
that's like
maybe.
the thing. Like my boys always joke with me, like no story's too crazy from Gill. Like they're just like I'll be like, y'all ready? Like I'll literally hit the group chat like, y'all ready for a good one? They're like, oh, popcorn, like because they just know
hilarious.
I'm about to have some. Because that's how I live my life, bro. It's just like, you know,
Yeah.
F it, let's do it.
All right. I think this is a good segue for what I want to get into as we get into the music.
Let's do it.
Because again, as I'll repeat on this episode today, we don't dwell in negativity. All right. That's not what Forbidden Range does.
No, I feel that.
But speaking of I mentioned in the intro, the rap battle competitions
Yeah.
you've been involved in.
Yeah.
There was a conversation, almost looked like a Zoom call, per se, where you and Maddie were having a conversation and DJ I were there. And it was discussion about V the Ruler
Okay.
and, you know, how you felt and the rankings and stuff. And, you know, again, like following you and listening to your music now and kind of getting to know you from that perspective.
Uh-huh.
When I watched those clips of you in that moment, you were vulnerable. I think there were
I
some
was
other
teed
people
up.
there too. You were. And so I guess, like, I kind of just wanted to talk about that moment for a second because I felt like sitting here now, it was like I couldn't see you. If I would have never saw that clip and you explained that, I'd been like, really? Like, you know? And
Yeah.
then, so you get what I'm saying?
So
Like,
I mean, bro, part of it's showbiz. Like Chris Koch does it well.
he does.
Like if you ever met Chris Koch,
Never. I've been in a room where he's
if
been
you
in.
met Chris Koch, you'd be like, there's no fucking way. Cause he's just like he's very articulate. He's funny. He jokes around. Like I'm saying, like just it doesn't portray everything you hear in his music. Dude's creative. Like
Okay.
so, I'm just saying like it's just different persona than what you would expect.
Sure.
So I think that at the end of the day, like it's showbiz. He understands that shit. Where he everything he does, like at the end of the day, he still respects Dylan Jacob.
Yeah.
But that shit is still just like comedy, and it brings attention to everything.
It's
Everybody
almost
wants
theatrics in a play,
everybody.
right?
Yeah, it's theatrics.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, I learned a little bit from that, and I told myself if I was gonna do these things, that I was gonna make sure I got involved in that. Because here's the other thing, bro, the politics side of all that shit. If you don't do enough to get people talking about you, it's hard to carry anything from it, right? Like a lot of people got noticed in the city from those events.
Yes.
Like
Definitely.
I made a song and I'm really good friends with Kid Friendly now from that event.
Yeah.
I did a
Dope
song
track,
with
by the
Chris
way.
Koch from that event. So I'm just saying, like, shout out to Maddie. He put something in place where people were able to show up, compete, but then like, you know, the people that people think of when they think of the rap arena, like everybody I'm mentioning, V, me, whatever, like there's narratives.
Yeah.
And that's what sells it. You know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, the people who play into the narrative, you have an opportunity to get a little bit more reach on it. That's all.
Love it. It's well explained.
Yeah. But I've always respected V, bro.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, we've had him on the show, and, you know, he won that last competition, and he's one of Phoenix's finest. I
Yeah,
mean,
bro.
You know,
He's a
and
great
for you
great
guys to
great
go
artist,
up,
yeah.
man. How was that experience for you, man? Would you do it again if you got the opportunity?
I've talked about it a few times. Maddie's always in my ear trying to get me to battle somebody.
Is he?
Yeah.
Are
Maddie,
you
lo-
going to go visit
Maddie
him in
loves
Vegas?
Maddie
Or
loves
is-
drama, bro. That's
does?
just he'll tell you he's sick. Yeah, he's sick. But I don't know, bro. Like at this point, I don't even like to this. Like, and I mean this respect. Like, I don't care like about that shit. Like, I like the competition aspects, and I think it's kind of dope when there's like everybody's in season, and it kind of feels like the hip hop Super Bowl. Like it's just like you got all these
Yeah.
people. And I don't even compete like that. Like literally, bro, it all happened because like me and Maddie are cool, bro. Like I've been to Vegas with him before. Like he's like he's one of the homies, you know. And he called me one night. We had some drinks, and it was like a 2 or 3 a.m. conversation, and he just started talking shit to me. He's just like, you think you can fucking rap? He's like, you can do you can. And I was like, bro, so I I started freestyling. He never really heard me like freestyle, and I was just joking around, but I was just ripping him, talking shit, you know. And he's like, bro, if you don't fucking do the competition, you're stupid. He's like, you're actually like, you have a chance to go in and do something. And you know, part of me is like, all right, he's trying to fill a slot because he needs people there. He was like, look, bro, just go. Like, I'll like, you know, I'll take care of your spot. Like, fill it up. Like, come on. So I did it. And shit, bro, I ended up getting to this all the way to the Sweet 16 through V, and awesome. That shit was crazy. Wow. I didn't really know what to expect. I'd never done anything like that before that.
Say, you're not normally involved in that type of stuff.
I don't like negativity either, bro. I'm a very positive person, but at the same time, if you turn me up,
listen, competition's competition.
Could throw him off. You just compliment the hell out of a guy. Hard battle rapper probably hasn't heard anything nice in a while. Right. Maybe he's just like just compliment him. He's like shit, man. I gotta yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
And it's capturing a moment too. Right. Like that's another thing is like you've recognized capturing a moment and knowing when to like, okay, I did what I needed to do. It's time to move on. That's
facts, bro. I mean, that's the thing too. Like, no matter what your opinion is on it, bro, like the whole GOAT scenario shit is just gonna go down as like a staple moment in Arizona hip hop.
Remember when he carried the GOAT?
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, crazy. Like to for him to bring the GOAT on stage and then to have like a win and then for it to be as controversial as it was and just like it's always gonna be a moment.
Yeah,
it'll always be that
Arizona
moment.
history.
Yeah, so I think like that's something like. You know, motherfuckers they'll remember that from that night more than they're going to remember who made the Final Four, who won. Yeah. Like, I would be pressed to say that, like this is no disrespect, but this is, like, to his point, creating a moment. That's what I realized about those events is it's more about the moment than winning. Because I think when you look back, people will probably remember that GOAT shit more than they're going to remember who won that tournament.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Here's a good little note, I guess, that we can put for Tyler Gill note is you can have as much talent as you want. You can be as braggadocious as you want, but if you're not bringing the moment, like, keep your ass at home.
Yep. Bring the moment.
Bring the moment.
Bring the moment. I have to trademark that shit.
Yeah.
Bring the moment. Yeah.
All right, we ready to hit the music, Jared?
Let's do it.
You want me to kick it off?
Go for it.
All right, I'm taking it back here. I might have stumbled upon something on SoundCloud.
Oh shit.
Bobby Shmurda.
Bobby Shmurda.
Hot freestyle. Is that Shmurda?
Hot person, hot individual freestyle?
Hot freestyle. Is that you?
I don't think so, bro.
No? Because I came across a Tyler Gill on SoundCloud. I knew I took a chance here bringing it up, but dude, it sounded like an early version of how I'm listening to you now. So
bro, mate, I don't know.
Maybe? Okay, well, maybe we'll check after the show.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm not, it doesn't sound familiar, but...
Because here's the thing about it. There was only, in this profile that I found, it was a very, like, whatever type of profile picture, but it was the only song on there, and I'm like, it sounds like him.
It could be, bro. Like, but honestly, there's so many songs I made, bro, that, like, I don't remember.
Okay.
It's funny because I thought
that's a bold choice. Just one white guy to another. That's a bold beat.
And it sounded like a white. That's what I'm saying. It sounded like when I'm sitting here.
I don't know. You know,
the dude killed it though. Listen, whether it was you or not, whoever that.
Yeah, shouts to whoever that Tyler Gill is. If it's not me, shouts out. Maybe it was me. I don't know. I gotta go. I know I did ice cream paint job. I'm just like thinking back all the.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, but I don't think those are on the internet. So like, but then there is stuff like people will find like.
We dig, brother.
Someone pulled my Reverb Nation up, and I was like, I forgot about Reverb Nation. What the fuck?
That is.
Like if you y'all got people on, you can use that. You'll probably be able to find somebody's Reverb Nation page with some crazy shit.
Yeah, we gotta start looking that up.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead, Jim. Anything you listened to?
Dude, I was the video and the song. I loved it. Slow, dude. How'd that one come to be?
You know what's funny, bro? That's one that like a lot of it doesn't have that many streams for me. Like as far as streaming plays, and like that's something that like is a lane. I feel like that song kind of made me realize I had the ability to like change sound, you know, and just kind of have some more melodic things and have fun with it. But it was just around Christmas time, bro. I wanted to do like a little lovey-dovey song.
I was gonna say you were in your acting bag there with her.
Yeah,
with her too. Did you know her? Was she?
I mean, she was a model. You know, she's a working model, bro.
Nice.
Like with videos, bro. I always try to use working models. Like same with. I always try to pay, bro. I just think like paying your cameraman, paying your model, like that makes sure that it's a job and everybody's there to do what they're supposed to do, and it's not. It's just not a favor. Because a lot of
Yes.
people too, bro, like in relationships, they'll keep score, and you can eliminate keeping score by paying. Like I don't even,
Damn.
you know what I mean? So
like
and a lot of people be broke as fuck, so they don't want. Sorry to be negative,
No,
but
listen, speak on it, speak
but
on it,
yeah,
man.
a lot of people be not wanting to spend money, bro, because they don't value that, and I value my peace more than money. I can always make more money.
Oh,
I
peace
felt
is
that.
hard
I
to
felt
value.
That, man. That was dope.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. I feel like I'm in a Tony Robbins scene.
Yeah, we're going to church right
Yeah.
now.
Love it, dude.
Let's go.
All right, so you mentioned him earlier, and I'm gonna just selfishly say this on camera, but we would love to interview Sincerely Collins and have him sit in that seat at some point.
He'll do it.
But I clearly noticed that you've worked with him quite a bit. Now knowing the
Yeah.
relationship you guys had before that, yeah, talk to us about Sincerely.
That was the first place I ever recorded a song was in his grandparents' house when I was in 8th grade.
Did you guys go to school
Whoa.
together?
No, I found him on MySpace because he had
Yeah.
Nah,
he had
nice.
he had a song for Dobson High School. It was called the Mustang Anthem. And any kid that went to like Rhodes or Hendrix, like the middle schools that were around it,
Yeah.
they knew this song because they would play it on the Friday nights. You know, when you're a middle
was
school
a-
kid, you're
That's
going,
so
middle school
sick.
banger.
oh, like,
Dude,
this
on the
shit was-
freestyling over Kiss Me
So,
Through the Phone, dude.
I found him on MySpace and was like, yo, bro, like, I think I want to try to rap. And this was after I had already done that shit I told y'all about earlier with my, the Dr. Dre thing where I told you
Yeah.
I was recording.
Yeah.
That was after that. So that's how I found him, through MySpace. So I went over there and started recording. Like, I'd ride my bike over there, and my parents would drop me off type shit.
awesome.
Crazy.
And I was going to his grandparents' house. And I remember, like, bro, I was rapping about shit I should not have been rapping about. Like, saying things I shouldn't have been saying. Like, even, like, where sometimes like, bro, like, maybe don't say that so loud, like my grandparents. I'm like, oh, yeah. like this kid that's like 8th or 9th grade just talking cash
That's
shit.
awesome, dude.
I've changed a lot in that perspective. I pay attention to what I say now. But yeah, bro, he really has been like my brother my entire life, bro. Like all the other stuff, the music, all that stuff is cool. It's good to be connected, but that's like my real life brother. So from that point
when
forward,
he's telling
it's
you to
just-
keep it down so his mom or grandmother.
yeah, that's what that was.
Like
At that
picture?
point in time, bro, he was
Legendary.
like, I think he might have been a junior in high school. You know what I mean?
Well, and listen, so I'm not from Arizona, but I've been here, I think, coming up on year 16.
Yeah.
And so I know, like, Arizona rap, like, I remember the Futuristics, the Sincerely Collins, like, that was, like, almost like this new wave.
That was our time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we had a moment
Yeah.
there, bro. I mean, even at that time, like V was in the mix
Yes,
heavy
V,
too.
yep, that's correct.
And I mean, there was a good chance to like cross that barrier. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
things happen.
Man. Yeah, that's dope, bro. I love just because he's an Arizona legend, and yeah, like I told Jared, I was like, I want Sincerely on the
Yeah,
on the
we can
planet.
make that happen, bro. I can get him over here. For
And
sure, for
Kaleidoscope
sure.
Kid, you be working with him
Yeah,
too.
we've
Yeah.
had him on the show.
Yeah,
Josh.
bro, he's a great dude. It's funny. It's like everybody, like, you know, really is connected in certain ways. But the same studio that Sincerely was working out of for his Alien album, Josh records still at, and that's where I started going. So when I had the label, bro, I was actually like doing like Tyrann shit. I wasn't recording on their studio equipment. I was like, cause I was scared, right? I didn't want to step on anybody's toes.
Yeah.
So Kyle was like recording me or letting me have access to where he was recording at the time. And I would go in there and record myself because I've always known how to use Pro Tools. Like I grew up on it. So I started recording myself in the same studio that Josh was at. Josh was in and out of that studio. He's a maniac. He'll work till 2, 3 in the morning. So sometimes I'd come in at like 5 a.m., 6 to start recording.
Damn.
Because I wake up early. I'm an early session guy. Like I'm a morning guy. So, but he'd be up there going to sleep or whatever, and you know, because he worked the night before, a session before, so he's just crashing at the studio, and you know, I would just get him on records. Like I've got so many like unreleased songs with him on it.
He's super talented.
Yeah, bro. Like
And-
one of the best musicians that I've ever been
One
around.
of the things we like talking about is like, you know, because people say, oh, Arizona doesn't have a sound, but like Josh is someone who has his own sound. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like nobody, let alone Arizona, sounds like him, let alone elsewhere.
People
Yeah.
who say that type of shit are just so small minded,
Yeah.
bro. There's a lot of talented people from here
Dude,
that
crazy.
you know, or like even like there's another big one that like a lot of people don't talk about. You familiar with Res Coast Grizz?
So early on when we started doing the show, and I looked up like this list of like top Arizona rappers, Rez Coast was on that, and I was like, he's native, right? Is that And I was like, who is?
I'm
this
not
guy?
like super familiar with, bro.
Okay.
But like he has a big following on YouTube, and like he's very talented, bro. Like the sound of his music and what he
Damn, we
does,
gotta
he's
get
very
Rez Coast
talented.
Grizz on.
I'll do it.
I'm more cool with. I believe he just mixes and masters his music, and he makes music too. His name's Brisky. that's his boy that like is like his right hand man with the music shit, and I know him a little bit like more personally than I would say I
Risky's a
know.
fire name.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Hey, you don't ever get risky, dude.
Yeah, get risky, hit brisky. Yeah. But yeah, bro, Arizona's got Arizona. Everybody connects to everybody somehow, some way.
Yeah.
For real, for real.
Love it.
Dude, you did a song with Rob Stone?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
How'd
saw
that happen, dude?
Rob Stone.
dope.
Two damn phones.
That one
Yeah.
was a pop though. The one y'all
You know
two
what's
did?
crazy? I
Chill Bill?
actually
So
I actually just talked to him like a couple weeks ago because I was like, yo, bro, like I'm moving to San Diego. I was like, if you could plug me, like I need your shit. I need the video people. I need the studio. I need the barber. Like, you know, we might do another song. We were talking about it. But my lane's changed a lot, bro. Like where I'm not doing profanity right now, and I'm moved towards that. Some artists are like willing to work under that umbrella. Some of them, it's just like they may
Not their
not.
thing.
Yeah, it just may not be for them. But that happened because I had a record, bro. This is actually a story I've never told, so y'all gonna get some good juice.
Hell yeah.
This is actually gonna give you like an insight too on like my business mind. I've thought about selling this idea and bottling it too. If somebody has the energy and wants to take my idea, go ahead, thief. But I had the idea to get somebody from San Diego on the song. So I started with Instagram, just sending artists. Because I was thinking, what's close to Arizona? Kind of full circle moment, because this was a couple years ago or a year and a half ago, whatever. So I started DMing people from San Diego, artists much smaller than him. That like I went and found people that were like me a little bit, like just they have a little bit of an audience. They're really trying. People are paying attention. Like Rob Stone, I didn't even know if he was going to respond or not, but I just basically said, hey, I have a record I'm looking to get you on. And I just copy and paste it to all these people. He was actually the first person to send it back.
Damn.
And he goes, if you could email me the track and tell me like what your budget is, and if I like it, like we can try to figure something out. I sent him the track. Bro, his response, I probably still have it. I do have it. It's on a DM. Like, he had already recorded part of his verse over it. And I'm like, this motherfucker trying to get me to spend the money. Because, like, he already...
Yeah,
But,
give you a taste.
so I didn't have the money, bro, to get the feature. So this is where the business idea came in. I'm like, all right, like, how can I put together the extra money that I needed to get it together? So I came up with the idea, like, everybody knows that song, like the Rob Stone song. Yeah, so everybody does. So I thought of like 10, 15 of my homies that I know just like they got their shit together. They doing well. Shout out Sergio. Shout out Michael Marquez. Shout out Bryce Schmickel. And shout out let's see who am I missing? I'm missing somebody lucrative, bro. Jeremy Carpenter. Shout out.
These sound like the homies, dude.
Those are all the homies, bro.
someone-
So I pitched this to a ton of people. Those are just the ones that actually ended up helping me. Basically, I said, look, I was like, y'all remember this song? That was my intro to everybody. Do you remember this song? Yeah, haha, hell yeah, or whatever. And I was like, bro, really random opportunity, but I have an opportunity to do a song with him. I was like, I'm looking to sell 20% of the song for $500. I was like, so you'll own 20% of the song forever. If it does well and it blows up, you're rich. Maybe you just do me a favor. I don't know.
$2,500 valuation. Sure.
Right. So literally, bro, I got money from they all bought in on me, bro, and I got the extra money that I needed to make the
awesome.
feature happen, and they all own 20.
Hey, Drew, can we get the claps for that one?
20% on the songs.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah. So that's
Homies really came through on that.
yeah, bro. Shout out all them, bro. That was dope, and it was like the first time I got to do something with like a like established name, so that was fire.
That's cool. I do that same thing in the group chat, but with like 8-leg parlays.
Bro, my homies saved me in their phone as one leg because I'm literally the king of
You got the lock leg.
I've got everything goes like I get seven bangers off the list. You get down to that 8th leg.
Yeah, it is.
Crash and burn, baby.
It's always the minus 238.
I actually have a shirt.
Too.
I have a shirt. Yeah, I have a shirt that I'm actually going to be dropping soon. It says if my last leg hit, I'd be a millionaire.
Funny enough, I have an app that does like it. You can link all your sports books to it, and it tracks all your betting and
I don't
stuff,
want
dude.
that.
And they do an
Don't tell
end
me how
of
much
year
money I lose.
Spotify Wrapped, dude. Luckily, I was green on the year, but this one stat is fucking diabolical, dude. It's you missed X number of parlays on your last leg, which would have been, and it was like
Cash money,
fucking
the
$6
cash
grand, and I was like,
Oh.
yeah, thanks, you.
6
Nah,
rounds.
my shit
you
would
schmuck, huh?
100% be probably, I swear to God, over 100 grand on last
No
legs.
shit.
Bro, like if you knew me or knew my sports betting history, bro, like
Are you Matty Ice level sports betting or?
he's different. Like he bets, he just bets on the Super Bowl. Like I would say futures, that's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
We're both degenerates. We're both sick as
I
fuck.
like Future too.
Yeah. But yeah, we're both degenerate gamblers.
Well, hey, listen, it's interesting that you brought up the Rob Stone track because my personal favorite track was on the same EP, Blank Check, but it was Sunday Brunch.
Yeah.
You went in on that one, dude, and I there's tracks I'll tell Jerry are workout tracks. I feel like
Yeah.
that's when I'm bench pressing. Too.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, you went in on that one.
Yeah, appreciate that, bro. I was just one of those things. Just I wanted to do something different. That like I feel like I didn't have much music that was kind of like upbeat or at the time like I guess strip club music, which I've gotten away from. Thank God.
I was gonna say, I was like, can't. That's a hard one to juggle there.
Yeah, it is, bro. It's like but a part of being a music
More than
artist,
one
bro, is
sense of the
finding
word.
it's finding your identity, bro. And I think that's hard as a music artist because like even if you are something or come from something, there's a part of you that's a product, and you have to find a way to make this product presentable and acceptable to people who are gonna push your product. And I think that's something that I had to kind of observe, and I really put into my last album and like going forward. Like, okay, what do I want out there? But like, what can people actually resonate with? And if you listen to my album, you're gonna feel like the same way you feel after you just talk to me for 20 or 30 minutes. You're gonna have a good grasp on how I think, where my mind's at, the way I look at shit. You know what I mean?
22 Sundays you're talking
yeah,
about?
Yeah.
And not to cut you off, I read that the 22 Sundays, like there's a significance behind it. It's the amount of
Football
Sundays in a season, right?
Amount of Sundays in a football season.
Why was that important for you?
Bro, like I grew up in a football family. Just like my dad is a huge Cowboys fan. Unfortunately,
Okay.
that's a fucking. I mean, he
He
passed
rides with the
away.
boys.
Rest his soul. But yeah, he was. Oh, by the way, bro, I saw you had lost your mom too. So my
Oh.
condolences
Hey,
to that.
thank you,
Yeah.
brother. Thank you. Appreciate that.
But one of those things, bro, that just it was always a football family. I played football growing up. My brother kicked at U of A. He was a kicker there.
Really?
Yeah,
What
he lost.
year?
It.
What
He
That's
year
lost.
kind
is
of
that?
cool. That's
He-
all right, you know.
Yeah.
He lost his job to Nick Folk, bro.
No
Oh,
shit.
wow.
Hey, listen, if you're losing, what year was that? Did he kick your brother?
Fuck, I can't fucking remember,
Yeah?
bro. Steven Jackson was playing at Oregon State. I remember that.
Oh, Steve.
And-
Remember Steven
Wow.
Jackson?
Wow.
He was nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just remember I watched him play in
Those dreads were
college.
flying everywhere, dude.
Oh, bro, he
every
was
time we got the
sick
ball.
over there. Yeah, so
22 Sundays.
22 Sundays came from just being a football guy, and I feel like that's
Love that.
the best holiday season,
We're big
bro.
football guys.
Big
The
football.
like just think about like the best 22 Sundays of the year, bro. Like we're like we
Yeah, we're
how
in
much
the
longer
trench.
we got to wait till we
I
get
know.
them 22
we're in the
Sundays
fucking
Well,
back.
I'm a
pits right
basketball
now,
guy
dude.
at heart, so I'm okay. But when basketball ends, I'm struggling until football, dude.
Haven't
Right,
looked
right.
this up, but I bet more male suicides happen in the off season. I'm
Stop
just
it,
saying.
dude.
It's
I'm
it's
just
highly
saying.
possible.
I don't
bro.
want it. If you need help, get it. But I'm just saying, I bet.
Yeah, I
Is
get it.
is
It's
football
tough.
is year-round football the cure to male loneliness?
loneliness.
If they could
Yeah.
be healthy enough, yeah. I mean, they got the UFL now.
Yeah.
Can we just start accepting? Can we just offset the college league? Maybe.
I mean, it's
Can we just
possible.
do college?
Yeah. That's all
It's
you're right.
52 weeks.
Yeah,
So you're
I
saying
can take like an 8-week off.
75 Sundays.
Yeah.
So Tyler, you're saying that you 22 Sundays, is that a long way from you ain't gonna get me slipping Urban Meyer? Is that how far away
That
are
was
we
a-
from Urban
that was a
Meyer
banger,
to
dude.
22 Sundays? 'Cause-
Yeah, bro, it's a big difference. I think I was like, I really became conscious of my music and what I put out. You don't really think about influence at all until you have a little bit. And I think once you have a little bit and you start to get like feedback or you start to see like what you influenced on people, you think about it. And when I coached high school football, bro, there was a moment. And I talked about this recently, but there was a moment where like a kid was repeating something I had said in one of my raps. And he's like, "Coach, I love this." And I had to like, it really hit me. I was like, damn, like I really got this kid saying that.
Right.
And like I can't, like I'm this coach that's like, I really do be speaking life into these kids. I'm like trying to show them the way to go. It's not just about football, it's about raising young men.
He's got you.
How can I come back and raise this young man or help put him in the right direction if I'm over here saying this and he's listening to it and he thinks it's cool because his coach said that? So that's where I had like a partial epiphany. Also, my mom, bro. My mom, she goes and listens to my stuff. And Ma Dukes didn't like a lot of the stuff that was coming out. She'd be as respectful as she could about it. But she let me know, like, yo, like, don't waste your talent on this.
Did
you
you
know?
see the Coast to Coast video?
Yeah.
Did you see that Grizzlies starting 4? I think you had out there.
Yeah.
I bet you didn't like that.
Nah, the starting.
It looked cool though.
What did you like about their athleticism? What did you see in them as ball players?
They all had future potential, bro. That's always what I look for. Is just what can the future look like.
Was it sort of the selflessness with the ball?
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah.
They all were team players.
They moved the rock.
Yeah.
They really They really knew
A lot of
move the
hospitality.
rock between themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, but nah, that was just the step I kind of took, bro, to be where I'm at now. I feel like it matches more. It's also too, bro. Reality being like, if you're in your 30s and you're rapping, you can't be rapping like you can rap.
Dude,
you can rap about whatever you want.
Right.
You can rap about whatever you want.
But should you?
Are you really catching bodies? Are you really like in the club doing this? Are you doing that? Or like that's why I really like Larry June. Like that's what where I want to take my music next. Is like if you listen to 22 Sundays, it's very clear. I was in like if you know me or you listen, like it was a healing stage of my life. It was about healing and getting through to this next chapter. But like I got a lot of fly shit to talk about now. I got to talk like where my life's going, what I've recouped, what I've got back.
Gaslamp district.
The money's up. Like we're good. We're gonna have fun this year. Like we're gonna have fun, and I'm gonna talk about it. And when people listen to it, they're gonna feel that way too. Like it's okay to know. Like I was telling my boy, bro, like I've got more going on for me financially and everything around me in my life today than I ever have ever. Literally 6 months ago, bro, I was down on my dick harder than I've ever been.
Oh shit.
Just through depression, through life changes, crazy things, but like that's how quick life can throw you down and pick you back up. Yeah. And that's why it's all about every single day, bro, showing up. You don't have to be the best at it. You don't have to be the worst or whatever. Show up. Like, if you wasn't thinking about maybe should I go to the gym today, like, I know I'm one to talk, but I'm saying just, like, get your ass there and do something.
I got my ass in there, too.
Yeah. And I'm saying, like, that's the thing for me. If, like, now I'm like, okay, I couldn't get to the gym. Like, all right, do some fucking push-ups and sit-ups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't be lazy, you know? So.
At least watch a David Goggins video.
Right. At least carry the boats in your head.
Exactly,
Right.
dude. Exactly.
Hey, honestly, that might be a good segment, man, to send us out, bro. Like, that was some powerful shit you just said. Like, we've had a great conversation here today. So 22 Sundays project you just dropped, about to move to San Diego, connecting with people in Phoenix, bro. Like, what else is coming? What can people expect? What can we look out for?
You know, bro, just finding happiness and keeping it fulfilled, bro, I think is the biggest thing on my agenda this year. You know, I had so many things. I write a letter to myself every year, and I recommend everybody do it.
Start of the year?
Yeah. And then you can go back and, like, tell yourself all these things you want to do, and then you go back at the end of the year and you can see the things that you forgot about that you set out for yourself, and all the things, like all the weight you wanted to lose that you were supposed to, that you didn't. That...
How do you address yourself? Do you go by name or do you go, you son of a gun? There he is.
Yeah, it could just depend on what mood I'm in with myself. You know what I mean? Sometimes like
I would do. Who let this guy in here?
Yeah, exactly. like I ate shit on a scooter earlier. I told y'all about that. I was definitely talking some shit to myself on the floor. Like, Tyler, you fucking idiot.
Sometimes
you know,
you gotta do it. They say geniuses talk to themselves.
Yeah, but nah, bro. I think putting things out on paper, seeing where you're at, bro. Manifesting your happiness, and I realized I worried about a lot of shit that doesn't matter. A lot of things that we get worked up on or create as stress don't matter, and I'm just trying to. That's why, you know, like trying to get my inner beach boy out. You know what I mean? Let's lose some weight and get on the beach, throw a few back, and have a good time.
Dude, bro. Just hit the beach, start running.
I don't even really listen to. Maybe who knows, man? Maybe I'll be Jelly Roll, bro. Like toes in the water, ass in the sand.
You need some Creed on that beach, dude. Yeah, some One Last Breath and some fucking Mission Beach sprints goes crazy.
Anything but Nickelback. No.
Dude, I love Nickelback, dude.
Yeah, I kind of felt like y'all did. That's why I said
it. All types, dude. All types, dude.
Well, bro, listen, we know you've been on other platforms. We know you've, been in the scene. We hope this was a good experience.
It was, bro. I had a good time. Yeah, thanks for having me, boys.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Ear God.
Yeah, it was a pleasure having you on, man. And I'm
Absolutely.
glad I got to be on this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
finally.
Drew,
Great
can I
episode.
just say your internet connection? Dear God, dude. All the videos right now, we've never had this.
Crispy.
Usually there's like a buffering thing and it's
Yeah.
like they're laggy. They're all just
Fresh.
beautiful, crispy, clean. You look beautiful, Drew.
Look at him.
No homo, dude.
Hey,
Hell yeah, dude. No, it is. It's fantastic. All right, hell
Send
yeah.
us
Dude, I'll
out
make it
on
the
that, Drew.
Pro Tools
Hit
out.
that
Yeah.
outro
Oh, that's
music.
right. Yes.